Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute. That's mostly due to home renovations, moving in, and then just other life stuff, which I won't get into because it's been a lot. It'll be a separate video maybe. No promises. Anyways, don't mind the sniffles. I have a cold. It's not corona. No worries. Anyway, so today's video is going to be a Q&A about my house and kind of just our home buying process in general. What is this doing? Yep, maybe we can just tuck that in. This bun is not put together very well. Anyways, so it's just about our experience with home buying and kind of everything about that, because as soon as we bought the house, I had a lot of DMs and Snapchats about like, how did you do that? What's the process like? Who's your real estate agent? Stuff like that. So I'm going to cover all of that in today's video. So let's just jump right in. All right, so the first question, what is your favorite feature about the house? I'm currently in the master bedroom, and this is my new carpet. They did scratch my doors a little bit and the baseboards, but that's fine. That's not my favorite feature, except I do love the carpet. My favorite feature is probably the beams in the master bedroom, which you guys will see in the empty house tour. I don't know if that'll be posted before or after this. Just see. Anyways, it's the beams in the master bedroom, and we painted them black. I plan to do another video about all the home renovations that we did, because it has been a lot and now we've made it ours. Anyways, so my favorite feature of the house is the beams in the master bedroom. Don't ask me why, I just love it. And then also the open concept in the house. Next question. What went better than expected and worse than expected? Okay. So our timeline is a little weird because we went a lot faster than most people, not from like when we decided to when we got a house, but from when we found the house to when we moved in. They wanted to expedite that process just because they had already built a house and they wanted to get out. So we did it all in like 2.5 weeks, I think. And usually it's supposed to be like a month, maybe a month and a half. So that 2.5 weeks actually went better than I expected, because I thought everything was just so jam-packed in that we weren't going to be able to do it, but we did. And then what went worse than expected, kind of when we got the house, honestly. When we first walked in, we did the walkthrough, and it was not quite what we were expecting because the previous people did not clean, or they didn't deep clean. They did like mop the floors and sweep and stuff, but they didn't. We found human feces wiped on the wall in the kids' room. We found old underwear and hair from certain places in the bathroom, so that kind of went worse than expected. I thought they would leave a space in a much better condition, but they decided not to, which is fine because it's our house now and we have made it a lot better. We've cleaned it up, stuff like that. So that's kind of what went worse than expected. The next one is, did you guys have really good credit? I love this question because I have incredible credit for my age, and then also the lines of credit I have. So the only lines of credit I have are 2 credit cards, and I don't use those often. I only use one at a time. I kind of like cut one up when I'm done with it. So I don't actually spend a ton on that one, but I have 1 or 2 credit cards, and then I have a car payment. Dylan Laszlo has a car payment. He has no credit cards. My credit score is amazing. I don't know the exact ones, but it's very high for what it should be in my age. But Dylan's is kind of, it's higher, but it's not mine kind of high. It's just he doesn't have any credit cards, anything like that. So, but to improve his credit score, I actually put his name down on my longest standing credit card, because that boosted his score like a good amount of points. Anyways, but you do not have to have amazing credit to buy a house. That's a secret that I didn't know that I had to have amazing credit. That's why I was so anal about it and very afraid of spending money on my credit cards, even though you need to spend money to get credit. You don't have to have good credit to buy a house. That's just the long and short of it. Like, it definitely will help and get you better rates, but it's not a need. The next one is, how did you get the loan for your house? We were originally going to go through a bank. Oh, no, not a bank, but a credit union. We ended up going with a private lender because our real estate agent, she showed us these people, and I just told them, I was like, as long as your rates can compare to the bank that we went to, I'm completely willing to go with you guys. And so she showed us some better rates, and we went with them. And also, this lender is the reason that we did get this house, because they said, as long as you can get the funding in this amount of time, it's yours. And getting everything done lender-wise and mortgage-wise and loan-wise, it's a lot to do in 2 weeks. But this private lender really made it happen for us, and I was really happy. So if you want our lender privately, I'm happy to DM anybody that information, as well as our real estate agent, because she was incredible throughout the whole thing. Her name is Corey Moore. She's based in Utah County. So yeah, go with Corey. She's amazing. She made the process a lot easier for us, and like helped us through understanding each part of it when it came to the appraisal and when it came to the inspection, because we were kind of clueless. So she helped us a lot, and then she made this house happen through the lender that she knows. And she always has like all these people. She has a plumber, she has an electrician, so like anything that you would need correlating to a house, she has it. So I highly recommend Corey Moore as your real estate agent. The next one is, how you so hot? I don't know. Lately, my latest coping mechanism is when I'm in my sad bitch hours, I do my makeup, so that's where we're at today. Because I figure if you have really good makeup on, why would you ruin it with tears? So, needless to say, I've been getting ready a lot more recently. I know it sounds so stupid, but it works, girls. Try it, because it makes you feel better about yourself. Whatever. The next question is, the plumbing and heating systems intact? So the plumbing has been updated since the original house. The house is a little bit older, but the plumbing has been updated. So there was just a few things that we had to do with plumbing due to the water heater. We needed to add an expansion tank or expansion valve. We're kind of still working on that, but it's quite easy, honestly, because again, Corey knows people to help you out. And then the heating system. So the heating system, it's so weird. It's so weird. And we plan on updating that pretty soon. So it has 2 or 3 gas heaters, 1 in each room. And I know gas heater, it sounds weird, but it is what it is. I don't know, when I heard gas heater, I was like, gas, fire, not good. But like, honestly, it's been fine. It took a learning curve to like learn the systems, and like, we have to have the fan on to get the heat out, not just have it on, stuff like that. So you learn your house as you go. And we originally wanted to do a walkthrough with the original owners, but that just never ended up happening. So they couldn't really show us the rules of the house, but we figured it out ourselves. Okay, the next question is, how long did you guys look, and how long is the process? Like I said, the process is usually like from when you find a house to when you move in. It should be like a month to a month and a half. But ours, we did in 2.5 weeks. It's just special circumstances, because it is. I mean, I don't think it's very unusual, but like, it was a pressure sale for them. So, and it was kind of pressure on us because it had to be done so quickly. But the entire like process, like, how long did we look? I don't know. We've been looking for a while. When I posted the video of like, oh, we're house hunting, that was like a month or 2 after we had been looking, and we put a lot of offers in on houses. We toured a lot of houses, and just, it didn't come. And it was honestly very frustrating, because we started with these beautiful townhomes and we loved them, and we put a few offers in. We didn't get accepted because it's a seller's market right now. And that kind of sucks in Utah, but it is what it is, you know, but the rates were so low, we wanted to get into a house. And then what was my other thing? I had another thing on my brain. And then, so it got really discouraging for me, at least, because we decided we don't want to go with the townhouse. We wanted to have our own backyard for Bean. We wanted to have all these things, and we wanted to be able to update it and fix it up and stuff like that. So we wanted like a minor fixer-upper, so nothing like very huge, just mainly cosmetic things. which I'm not gonna lie, it has turned into some non-cosmetic things, but that's fine because we're still building a ton of equity in the home. So the process took us a long time, and if you are house hunting right now and you're getting discouraged, the right house will come and your offer will be accepted in the right circumstances in the right place, because Dylan and I are very strong believers in the universe, and what's supposed to happen will. So we weren't honestly too disappointed when our offer got rejected, because I was like, okay, I guess that's not our house. The story of this house is insane because we had it and then didn't have it 3 separate times. So it's like the universe was like pretty much screaming in our face that this is our house. So we have it now. It's really crazy seeing like where we were and how discouraged I was, because we literally looked at a meth house and that was super discouraging. I was like, is this where we're at? Like, this is it. I don't want to buy a meth house. But better things came. It just happens, you know, and you don't know when that better thing is going to come. That's kind of the hard part about the market, and you don't know what other people are offering so that you can outbid them. It's hard. But the right thing will come, I promise. Okay, so the next question is, how did you know it was the right house? Like I explained, it was so insane because when we were first looking for houses, this came up and we wanted it really bad. We're like, hey, I want to go tour this one. I really like it. I'd like to put an offer. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for. And she said, unfortunately, this is under contract already. And then we're like, okay, well, just look out for something like this. And she said, okay, I'll keep that in mind while looking. And then a few weeks, like months went by, honestly. And then it came back in the market, and Dylan and I were freaking out. We're like, oh my gosh, it's back in the market. And we sent it to her, like, we need to go see it. And then we saw it the next day. We're putting our offer in that night, and then somebody else took it out from under us before we even sent our offer in, which our offer was better. But then they took it out right from under us, and I was super disappointed, honestly, in that one. And then she came back to us and she said, you're never gonna believe what happened. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a roller coaster. The offer fell through because it was a girl that went and looked at it without her boyfriend, and she made an offer and the boyfriend didn't like the house. So then we put in an offer that was actually less than our first one, and it just matched the last one that they accepted, and so then it was our house. It was so insane. There's a lot more, but that's a quick version. I know that wasn't very quick. Okay. The next question is, how did you buy so young? I couldn't tell you. I don't think age really has anything to do with buying a house. It's just, we were ready for that next step. I wanted to own something. I wanted to invest in real estate, and this was our first buy. So it's just getting our toes dipped into the water a little bit. We plan on investing in a lot more property and getting a lot of rental properties, so that's exciting. I don't think age has to do with anything about this, because Dylan and I got married young. We're obviously not having kids young, no. But we got married young, so it only makes sense that the next step is to buy a house after we've been in a few apartments. So, and then we were just ready for it, and we had the savings for it, and we had the help for it. Like, we had the resources for it, and that's why we buy it. It had nothing to do with age. Okay, so the next one is, what kind of loan do you guys have? This is where age does play a factor. Because for the loan, you need your last 2 years of employment history and your last 2 years of tax credit, last 2 years of your taxes, and then your credit history is what I'm looking for. No, tax history and credit history, last 2 years of all those things. And so, seeing as we're buying at 20, when we were 18, we were in high school. So, we wanted a conventional loan really, really bad, but the circumstances just said, you can't, you're too young, and that was due to also Corona, but also our age. So, yeah, it's due to Corona, it's due to our age, it was due to a lot of things why we couldn't have the conventional loan. So then we settled for an FHA. Then once we feel like it, we're going to refinance into a conventional, because there's some stuff with PMIs that we don't want to pay after a certain point. With FHAs, you pay the entirety of your loan, with the conventional. Don't quote me on this, but you don't have to pay it after you pay off a certain percent of your house. So we are planning to go to conventional, but not anytime soon because it doesn't make sense because the rates aren't lower than what we got them for. The next one is, why did you decide to buy instead of rent? This was a no-brainer to me. I hated renting. They put a lot of restrictions on us having an ESA, which technically not really allowed to do, but they just didn't like pets in general. So it was just causing a lot of problems and a lot of emotions and a lot of unnecessary stress on us to be able to keep our own pet dog, like our own ESA for that matter. And then I also wanted to paint a wall if I wanted to paint a wall. Like, it's not that I would have painted anything because I literally have my walls white here. But I just wanted to be able to do those things, and it was very restricting, and I didn't like that even if you had a few friends over that your neighbors would call the cops on you because you're stomping on their ceiling. I understand that that's not fun, but like in a house you can be about as loud as you want and nobody's gonna really give a shit unless like you have a big rager party, which we're not really those kind of people. So that's why we decided to buy instead of rent. And then also we wanted to have some assets. We wanted to start building equity in a house, and we wanted to own it instead of giving money to some kind of corporation. It's kind of the long and short of it. Next one is, did it come with appliances? Okay, so usually they will always leave the stove, dishwasher, sink, obviously. From my experience, they usually take the washer and dryer, and then they usually leave the refrigerator, and I only know that because when you go on the tour, you can ask all those questions and they'll tell you. They left the stove for us, and so we had to buy a refrigerator and a washer and dryer. So we got the washer and dryer actually from our old tattoo artist's house. Funny enough, it wasn't hers. She was renting it out to people, and we bought it from them. But and then we hated the stove that they left, and one of the burners actually didn't work, and it was very dusty, very old. So we put that up on KSL and got it out of here. We bought a brand new stove, brand new refrigerator, which I am so in love with. And funny enough, we got them matching, which is funny because we bought them both at scratch and dent places, and it was separate scratch and dent places. So our refrigerator is from a scratch and dent place in Orem. It's called the Appliance Outlet. They're amazing. Highly recommend. And then we bought our oven/stove from a scratch and dent place in PG, which they're still pretty good, but I prefer actually the Appliance Outlet. And they were the same. They're both Samsung. They're both the black stainless steel. It was kind of funny. Anyways, I'm so in love with them. Because I could have settled for a cheaper refrigerator that just had like the freezer and the fridge, but I wanted the big French doors. I wanted the drawer of everything, so I was kind of like splurged a little bit on our refrigerator, which I have no regrets about. Okay, next one is, did it appraise for what you offered? So let me explain this real quick. Once you're under contract, you have the house appraised, and if it doesn't appraise for how much you offered, you have to they either have to come down on the price, or you have to fork up that money out of your own pocket instead of getting it from the loan, which is kind of concerning. So when we got the appraisal back, we were entirely happy because we actually started with equity in the home. We paid less than what it's worth. So that was really fun. So we started with equity in the home. So yes, it did appraise for what we offered, but even more so. So we never had to go up on the price. It just was what it was. The next one is, does this mean you're staying in Utah? Okay, I still have my dreams to move to Texas, but like I said, we wanted to invest in real estate, and the market's very competitive right now, so we're lucky that we got a house in Utah. This does not mean that we're going to stay in Utah forever. That's not our dreams. We don't want to do that. It's not what's going to make us happy, but for the next few years, yeah, it doesn't mean we're staying in Utah because we like our home. We're going to stay here for a minute. We do want to move around, but that's after we lived here a few years, and then we can rent this place out and buy another house. The next one is, what style are you guys going for? Originally, I thought a modern farmhouse style based on the cabinets. But as I got more furniture in, as I saw all my stuff, I realized that it's a lot more modern industrial that I wanted to go for. So I painted all the door frames, and window frames, windowsill. The framing on the windows, I painted them all black, and then everything else is like a grayish white. And then all the baseboards are black too. And then the bathroom, we're not really gonna do anything to. Anyway, so modern industrial is what we're kind of going for, with a touch of farmhouse, because we do have our yeehaw things, you know? The next one is, do you have any renovations planned? Yes, we do. We've already done a ton of them, as I previously mentioned, and that's going to be a whole separate video, honestly. So look out for that. But we have a lot of fun renovations, and we're painting a lot. Okay, we're coming up on the last few questions here real quick. The next one is, what year was the house built in? It was built in the 1950s, I believe. So it's a pretty old house, but a lot of things have been updated and renovated. We did have to get the electrical box updated before we moved in, so the sellers paid for that, which was very kind. Anyway, so yeah, it's an old house, but it's got good bones, and we have an open concept because the old owners knocked out a wall between the kitchen and the living room, so it's very nice. The next one is there a backyard for Bean? There is a backyard for Bean, and I love that he loves hanging out back there. It's getting a little bit colder nowadays, so he doesn't spend as much time just bathing in the sun, but we have a lot of plans for the backyard. We're not even going to touch the outside of the house until the spring. During the winter, we're just going to focus on the inside of the house. But yes, there's quite a large backyard for Utah, honestly, and that's kind of why I didn't want to go with a newer built house, is because their backyards kind of are small. And Bean deserves all the space in the world. He deserves the world. Bean is my sweetest boy. Okay, and then the last question is, who is our real estate agent? Which I think is a great place to end off with. Again, I cannot say enough amazing things. Corey Moore, she was our real estate agent. Highly recommend. She will explain everything that you have questions about. She is the best. She is very dedicated. So if anybody wants her information, please message me and I'm happy to give that to you. Anyways, I think that's it for this video. Sorry, it was kind of a long one, but there was a lot of questions and I wanted to answer all of them. So if you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comments down below. If you want to say in the comments down below what else would you want to see, what videos I want to see, maybe house updates, say it down in the comments. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I'd appreciate it. Anyways, love you. See you. Bye.